defuse kit and a smoke, perhaps for a B play or perhaps just for any play. Karrigan, Guardian, Smoke and a flash each. Karrigan has deployed one. Goes to the middle trains. Stops the longer range of the USPs from getting to work. But it's Rain to get the first kill with a P250. Some extended range for the headshots. Nice to get him on the scoreboard immediately. Karrigan hasn't checked the corners, and he has been baited. NIP keeping up with these kills, 3 on 3.
Yeah, they haven't been able to get through these choke points very well. The bomb down by the green train. It's not really a good situation for FaZe. Nico trying to do what he can, using that precise aim of his to try to work onto some frags, but not happening just yet. ECS with a good setup there for Nico. And Guardian, he fails as well. So NIP, they get the start that they need. They get the pistol on the CT side. The most important of pistols.
There we go. Still though, danger's not over. You can see FaZe equipping themselves with deagles. It's always a scary proposition. I'm actually going to opt in for Kevlar as well, so we're not going to see that Soul Kevlar, no, Soul Deagle bought up. And well, Kevlar's not going to help you for the from that if you don't have head armor. Right now, NIP off to a great start. 3 quick frags, and the likelihood of FaZe getting anything done on much less a plant has pretty much gone from or gone down to 0%. Nice shot from Guardian though.
Minimal damage done to NIP, only losing 1 player, which is a good start for them. But how long will the good start last? That might be a question, as there is a lot of expectation when you see FaZe on the server these days.
Understandably so.
Draken going for the Nova, $1,200 investment.
Just want to get a cheap weapon because obviously Draken wants to get that op as quickly as possible.
Yeah, it's a good round to do it where there's no Kevlar whatsoever, but you really have to be on point with your aim of the shot because the spread is quite tight.
Do you think it would have been better off buying an MP9, for instance? Because you know you're up against no armor.
I think it partly depends on your implementation. If you have space to back off, there are 2 team kills. That's hilarious.
That's, oh my god, they denied him so hard.
What's even funny is he gets no money out of that.
Yeah,
He could have had
absolutely.
$1,800, but instead they just lose a few hundred themselves, which is very amusing. So yeah, it depends on the implementation. In this case, an MP9 will definitely be better.
Yeah.
I think with a Nova, you might find a better implementation when you have a second player with you, but then you could argue that for every weapon, really. So I suppose it's going to be more versatile. But anyway, it is the buy round for both sides. FaZe have not all the utility in the world. Forest not going to overextend and hunt that kill. Took an early engagement, didn't yield a result, and he will back off.
That has allowed some space for FaZe to move out into yard. Nico and Rain finding 2 frags on their own. Now, very difficult notion for Nip to actually get back into this.
Yeah, good headshot from Get Right though, and it's down to Draken now, as Olofmeister uses that superior positioning to get another kill. Nothing Draken can do. The round goes to FaZe. That's a big problem for NIP's momentum. They have now just 1 chance to continue onwards with the rounds.
Still, very good decision making for FaZe there again. Noticing that obviously Force is pushing up aggressively, but the second Draken takes that shot from higher, they know that there's 2 people on that inner bomb site, which allows them to get out into yard very, very quickly. And we saw that with Astralis as well, just being very determined about what they want to do and have a very clear game plan. Once they get just a smidge of information, they're able to pounce off of it.
That was a really fast round as well. So the battle of the AWPers continues, and Guardian continues to win. It's looking tough for Draken, especially on the CT side. It's going to be a very important battle going forward. Speaking of battles that exist, and Get Right doing some damage, but Karrigan proving himself to be quite the nuisance. Never mind the star players on the side. The in-game leader doing some damage as well, pushing forward. And Forest's position may get compromised. The AWP can't quite get the scope up in time to take down Olofmeister. And there goes Exist as well, leaving Rez with UMP. That's an ideal situation. Guardian will puncture his chest. And those are 2 solid rounds for FaZe. Broken NIP already.
I like this from Karrigan as well. He had the op, decided to switch back to a Colt instead. Knowing that when you have Guardian on your team, you don't necessarily need a secondary opper. Especially on that T side if you want to be mobile. So solid start. Rain opts to go for the Mac 10 knowing that NIP are going to be completely broke. There's a time for FaZe to get that economy going.
Yeah, I don't think you necessarily want to AWPs versus Nico either. It can be tricky if you lose a player just like this. Karrigan, of course, getting taken down.
Seems like Karrigan had no idea where he was getting shot from, which is weird.
With timing for exist, but there's a 3-man peeker for the CT side. It won't work out for them, however, because the Ts are far better equipped. Get right with the AK. Look at the damage on these T players. He could do a lot here. Guardian taken down. Where's the communication? They're rotating around the site. Second one for Get Right, looking for a third. Meister will finally put a stop to the shenanigans.
Managed to do so in the end. So not quite the anti-eco that FaZe would have hoped for. Only surviving with 2 members, so you can see Meister's the only one with a significant bank. I guess Guardian might be able to hold on to something if he's been dropped an op. And he has. So 2 players with a fair bit of money on the side of FaZe, but definitely should have been in a better situation than what they find themselves currently.
Just want to note that Guardian's AWP is called Vape Lord Roban.
Interesting. Don't know what to say about that.
Vape Nation.
Well, I mean, there's not much nades left here for NIP. Forest, though, pushing into Pop Dog. That's going to be a nice play. Karrigan down for the investigation. Surely someone has to be looking at Pop Dog. Oh, yes. Oh no.
That's so smart from Karrigan. He hears Forrest run away after collecting the weapon and just punishes him for it. And it's all Karrigan in this round. AWP, he's feeling himself. The bomb rotating into the A site. That's got to be really frustrating for NIP because that's going to cost them the round. It's going to cost them their economy. It's going to cost them a deficit now.
Well, Get Right didn't obviously adjust for the fact that Forrest gave up that position, and I guess that was the biggest problem there.
Yeah.
And so is that a communication issue, or is that? Well, I guess so.
I think they just assumed no one was there.
Yeah, it's a mixture of communication and assumption. I think both Forrest and Get Right didn't expect Karrigan to basically just like slanter out from Pop like that, because it's not necessarily a typical move that you see Karrigan do. Because at least I would imagine that if most players in Karrigan's position, they would imagine that, oh yeah, no, Forrest is definitely holding this Pop area from now on, so I shouldn't be crouching down the ladder.
Yeah, I mean, Karrigan, I think it's easy not to give him less credit as a player because of the people he's playing with, but there's some nice game sense for him there, just immediately reacting to the behavior he is hearing.
Yeah.
And winning his team the round.
But almost regardless of what went through the heads of the NRP players there, it's still a weird position for Get Right to put himself in, to hold off teammate, because he can always take a couple of steps to his right and then obviously have the cover from E-Box and still hold off teammate with a very solid positioning. And it also allows him to be kind of that hidden entity if Forrest needs help from Pop. But in the end, it doesn't really pan out that way, so FaZe get their 4th round.
I think it's a good tactical timeout here from NIP because you've got to be frustrated with the situation. And Get Right has
bought an MP7.
So I mean, they're on full buy territory. Is that an F? What is the auto buy button? I don't even know.
F2, F1.
I removed
F1.
it from my config, so it's impossible for me
I've
to.
removed that for ages ago as well. I think it's F1 and F2 is rebuy.
Yeah, I'm guessing that they're asking for the round to be restored, and this is an accident. But just remove it. Just remove it from your config. Why is it in your config?
It's like the same people who have like F10 bound to just auto quit. I'll never understand people who have that.
So good in TF. I think it was TF2 where it had no confirmation. So
you do have confirmation in CS as well.
So you'd be like, press F10 to receive a prize.
Oh yeah. That's
Someone would
a
leave
classic public. Yeah.
Someone would leave the server. It was so funny because it went on for so long, such a long time. And that stuff makes me really happy inside, like really happy.
It's like when you had spray tags in CS, right? Where you could have custom ones, and somebody would like tag a ladder at a random place on the map, and like
Yeah.
you'd see people trying to climb up it.
Or just a CT on a wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. We need to start a we need to have like an intervention or something with pro players where they just remove auto buy from their configs.
Yeah.
Because why?
I guess if they still have
That's
it
why.
bound, you should just let them be punished for their own mistakes, right? So if you manage to auto buy an MP7 and armor when you're supposed to eco, then you know, tough luck.
Maybe there's some pro players who sort of like they don't use a config file, they just know their settings and some of their binds, and they just
No,
do it every time.
there's no way.
Because I know some Quake players like that.
I feel like
Very good
CS
ones.
players are so finicky about their settings that there's no way they have not like tinkered with that config file and just looked at every option.
Same with some Quake players, but there's always exceptions. Always exceptions.
I've yet to find one in CS though. So if anyone knows somebody who just sits down on a computer and just drags the sliding bar for sensitivity and just goes in, then do let me know. Right now though, 2 frags on the side of NIP and Guardian. Could run into some issues, but no scope on point. With fire here's
Wow.
That's so fast.
My God.
Swear
And
to
it's
God,
Draken as well. He's thinking it's the Draken of all people.
I get the sense that like if you replay some of the shots that guys like Guardian and Kenny make, like people are not on the screen when they actually fire. The game just like wills it to happen because they're just that good.
There was one time I was playing a game of Mirage. And it was 1 versus 1. I planted the bomb on triple, and because I was playing on a crap connection, I estimated from the sound when the guy would peek on the server, but not my screen, and shot based on the sound before I even saw him and killed him. I was so happy. Best thing I ever did. Olaf Meister, he will continue the proceedings with the AWP.
Sitting a good time in the yard, just running amok with that M4.
Now they do have those 2 double ops left. And
What a perfect.
This
9
is
HP
unreal.
as well. He's got 35 seconds. He's spotted. Oh no, I don't think he had spotted Get Right, and Get Right will pull out the double.
Going insane at the moment. It's great to watch. The score is still close though.
problem for NIP right now, of course, is that the buy they're going to have in this round is
Absent, he will burst or spray when necessary. A very fast play from FaZe, charging a rare miss from him.
That's on the entries. That push looked so good.
It was initially very good. They do, even though Rain ends up dying, they end up with a favorable 3v2. It's just a very good job from Exist, and obviously a very timely backstab from Rez and Popdog to salvage the round.
So both these teams struggling in this round. Pistols out for FaZe, Mag 7 for Get Right, which isn't always considered struggling. Get Mag 7 on the train.
Definitely not a bad
JW
one.
will tell you.
Yeah, what some Get Right is, yeah, he's posted up in Pop.
But it will limit you when it comes time to rotate. Rain trying to identify what lies below.
Spotted Get Right as well. It's not what you want to do, walk into the waiting arms of Guardian. I do like the aggression here coming in from Get Right, though.
I wonder what Exist was up to there. Get Right getting more use out of it. He's not going to overextend potentially and try to retrieve the weapon. He does not know what's around the corner. Forrest playing around the smoke but looking away, can't look back in time to stop Olaf Meister. And now life gets more difficult for NIP. Draken can't repeat that too many times. Must know that there's more than one person there. This is a nice angle from Rez, and Rain will surely look past it as he turns the corner. 3 on 3.
Guardian with another kill onto Draken. He seems unstoppable at the moment. Good shot from Rez, the sole defender of the B-bomb side. And that's where FaZe decided to go, and you might think twice about this due to Rez's position. But are they confident in doubling back? They've got time, but they will commit in onto this site on the B area. Rez still, though, just peeking. And he's prevented them from coming onto the train. In fact, they will opt to go for the A side of the map. Where Get Right waits with the Mag 7. Perfect position, perfect shot. headshot is always to be welcome for that Mag 7, and now Carrigan forced to plant on the connector side of the train. Out comes Get Right. Oh my god. There's a chance for Carrigan here. That Mag 7 not so reliable at the mid-ranges, but eventually Carrigan will get chased down. What a crazy round again.
It took a little bit too much time for FaZe to actually decide not to commit to that inner bomb site, or not. I think earlier we saw them being really snappy with their decision making in terms of actually making a push out to Yard when they noticed that both Draken and Force was playing the inner bomb site. This time around they were a little bit more hesitant, and that allowed for Get Right to make the long rotation and get close to the bomb chain.
Beautiful. That's so satisfying. And Carrigan at the end has no Kevlar. So awkward for him.
New buzz coming in. Probably FaZe wants to talk things over as NIP has made a bit of a comeback.
Well, this is a server pause. So it may be something else is afoot. That's Nico's turn to go missing. I see one player has dropped to NIP, so we may have a short delay here. But NIP, they're back in the lead. They have an opportunity to extend that now that FaZe have less than ideal money. And there he goes again. There he goes again. Maybe he's being packeted. Remember the days of DDoS, Dan?
No.
Players being DDoSed, servers being DDoSed, DDoS being DDoSed.
Everyone's having a bit of fun with DDoS.
All the DDoS.
Every online game's taking about 9 hours to complete.
I got packeted once by some pleb on IRC for like over a day.
I got into matchmaking actually.
What?
Yeah.
You got packeted in matchmaking?
I got DDoSed by a guy because I didn't like. This was still when I had no idea what the hell was going on. But we were playing matchmaking and we were stomping some people, and one of the guys on the opposite teams somehow was allowed to just call me on Steam Friends.
Ah.
Yeah, and I had no idea what I was doing, so I accepted. I was like, because I just wanted the ringing to stop, right? So, because that's literally the most hellish sound on earth.
Why decline when you can accept?
I just clicked the first button possible, right? So I accepted that. He hung up immediately because then he had my IP, and then I got a call from my internet providers like, "Hey, have you made some, new friends on the internet?" So, and apparently I had.
Yeah. Have you been packeted, Dan? No?
No.
Really?
Never.
You're not missing out on much.
No, it's not
apart
fun.
from a lack
It's not
of-
something I really...
So it's I keep forgetting like how useful or useless my PC feels when I don't have internet.
Yeah.
It literally doesn't do anything at all. I can play solitaire. Like, that's it.
Damn.
Yeah, it's rough.
That's pretty...
I need my internets.
Yeah. So there's some issue going on. Don't know what's going on. Haven't been told. But there is an issue, and here we are. Here we are. I think there's potential for NIP to have a good half. We've seen some struggles in recent rounds from both people in terms of both teams in terms of economy, but perhaps NIP are over the hump.
Well, you talked about how you felt like the CT side would be the most important side for NIP. Do you have any sort of like threshold they need to get past for them to have a shot going into the second half?
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know if I can put a number on that without just pulling something random out of my posterior. Is this a force buy?
It is a very awkward force buy. Yes.
Well, what is the... can we see Director Sliggy how many CTs survived the last 3 rounds?
I mean, obviously, Get Right and Res,
1.
right? Yeah.
And 1. So there is a force buy to be had here from FaZe.
There is, but look at what they're able to actually get from this kind of a buy. It's a Galil on Olafmeister. He might pick up a smoke and a flash or 2 flashes. Kerrigan he can buy 1 more nade, but it's not necessarily going to be the most effective thing.
So I think it's better than most force buys with the money they have available if they want to spend all of it, but maybe they don't. Although Olafmeister has gone pretty deep, but the rest of them may be more reasonable with their buys. I mean, with Olafmeister spending that much money...
It's just weird that we're seeing Guardian not... Guardian obviously wants to opt for the next round. And that's why he's not buying Kevlar right now. But I'm not understanding why they want to make the investment on Rain Kerrigan and Olafmeister that heavily if both Nico and Guardian are not going to commit to it.
Yeah,
especially if Nico's not buying just any needs at all.
Well, why has Guardian got an HE? That's a good question.
It's going to be the 1 HE to win the round.
Yeah, it's like a weird calculated risk, but let's see if it pays off for the side. Rez is flashed, and he's exposed on the high ground. Does he have cover from his teammates? Either way, Olofmeister is going to wreck him. Draken and Get Right putting in more work. They need to stop these teams from advancing. They're all trying to do so as the bomb goes down. Worst case scenario ticked off for the T's, but it's a 3 versus 2, make it 2-on-2. Both CTs coming in from the back. This will help them avoid being flanked, but that smoke may be a problem. A well-placed Molotov by Exist leaves Guardian alone, and he's deployed his high explosive. He just has a P250. This is monstrous damage done by FaZe, and with the plant, they may be able to apply more pressure in the coming round.
It's definitely going to be a buy now from FaZe. Olofmeister might be the one who's a little bit low on economy. He's actually going to be at 4.5, so it's not even a worry. He's going to be able to buy fully up almost. And yeah, they managed to prevent NIP from actually building anything up. For the most part, GetRight's going to have to purchase up, and at that point he's broke. He's actually going to opt for UMP.
Clearly, Vape Lord Roban has been chipping in.
Sitting there with his calculator, just making sure everything's on point.
That's what FaZe up to in this round. They've got all the position in the horse. Get Right, surely not. He's always going to actually just go straight up. You'd never expect that. Free kill, uses the Molotov there. Is he got more in him? Gets the dink onto Rain.
Again, Kerrigan is the victim of Get Right playing around in Pop Dog.
That's a crazy push. I kind of like it though, considering that he had the UMP and everything. He found the timing.
Exist bungled his pop flash a little bit, which allows for Olofmeister to get the return frag there and actually put FaZe one man up.
Forrest is in such a potentially dangerous position.
Not a big fan of Draken's positioning right now either. He's very locked in.
Maybe with the bomb spotted towards B, they think that the majority of the numbers will be there. But you never know what might be lurking around the IV position. Olofmeister slowly making his way. Olofmeister rarely gives sound cues, which is why it's really fun to watch. Always walking around.
Force is going to get the anti-timing of the year. And that does alleviate a lot of pressure on FaZe. They don't really have to be too worried about a backstab. Olofmeister is actually just going to commit to TR to try to sell this as an A push. And it's going to work as well.
Oh wow, instant kill from Rez. Now they know it's B. Is this still a possibility here? Maybe not, as Rez goes down by Guardian's hands. Again, Guardian has been... I don't think you can fault him at all so far in this game of Train. I feel like every pick attempt he's gone for, he's been successful, and he's been consistently just doing damage, taking down players.
Guardian's been playing a really good game. FaZe have run into more of an issue once they've... like, weirdly enough, when they've gotten openings, like when they've gotten a frag or two or traded 2-for-1, that kind of a scenario, they get bogged down, and NIP have set themselves up in a pretty good positions passively. So even though they lose the initial people playing aggressively, they have guys like Draken, for instance, playing multiple positions back towards the train yard to find a couple of easy kills of tagged up players. But money is dwindling on the side of NIP.
Yeah, do they give up a round here to buy in the next one?
I think they have to.
Well, let's see what Draken could do with this AWP then. Perhaps a fast pick towards teammate. They have been going for the fast plays bursts, so would have been a shooting gallery for him, but this time FaZe will flip the script. Olofmeister creeping towards IV. The rest of them focused above the Pop Dog around B, taking their initial map control. Rez will go straight into the flashbang. Was he spotted though by the T's? Do they have expectations?
Just holding the B holes at the moment. NIP rotating on 3 onto the site now. Ooh, looks like they're rotating everyone, including Draken, in time for this push. This could be big here. Oh, the smoke didn't bloom. There was actually an opportunity there. Draken doesn't get the connection. That is such a shame there for NIP, and they may not get other opportunities here, as this is a fast effort into the side from the FaZe clan, and they'll take it down with 3 left alive. 7-7 on the scoreboard now.
Yep. NIP had a bit of an opportunity there if Draken connects the first shot as he moves into connector. before the smoke blooms, that gives them a little bit of a hope. But as soon as that shot misses, that allows for FaZe to move up forward close to the connector area, and you see both Raid and Nico demolishing anyone from NIP trying to get close to the bomb site. Well, last round of the half. Decent enough buy. Not a lot of nades on NIP's side, but quick push out into yard.
Nice early kill from them, but how long will it last? Great re-pick from Get Right there, playing around the spray. He will ultimately get traded. Maybe he's expendable at that point. Draken not expecting that one. And that evens things up.
How does Guardian know?
So aware of his posterior, but ECS looking past the angle, still manages to snap back. Karrigan, will he get himself another 2K? He might just do it, not this time. Forest position known, but Nico, he knows where ECS was. ECS still is. It's Forest with 24 HP, 1 tap required, 2 low health, 27 and 1 when he's got 24 HP. That will do the job. FaZe take a thin lead into the next half. Would you say it's a good half for both sides, considering the score?
Not really. If I'm FaZe, I'm happy. If I'm NIP, I'm not so much.
Is it enough?
I don't think so.
For NIP.
Sadly.
7 rounds on their CT side, moving into T side now. They will be the aggressors. Rez, the only grenade man.
Garro's been playing really well today. Although, for NIP. I feel like he's had a lot of really good and very precise, crisp plays. Ooh, FaZe doing so much damage on this pistol round. Just connecting those first shots really goes a long way with those USPs. Still Rez and Forest alive though. Now just Forest. He can't get through team main. He's got the bomb on his back at the very least. But there's no clear avenue to plant it, really.
He's also been heard now by Olafmeister. Still won't do Olafmeister any favors, so 2v1. Didn't take too much damage either from that altercation.
That flank is coming.
Let's see if Force has the same kind of sixth sense as Guardian had. Oh, okay. That works too.
Forest, the pistol god, looking to make the play into B with the bomb. And Karrigan, of course, knows what's going on. He's been on that longest flank EU. Got to be so careful with sound cues, especially now Forest is coming into this position by the ramp. Forest expecting it. Here comes Karrigan. Oh, there's the spot. This is going to be very close. Going for the hold, I think, with the kit. Actually coming off the bomb. That was actually really smart, but Forest still gets the kill for the quad. Brilliant stuff there from Forest. Completely saving NIP.
Forest is awesome.
That second shot, that one.
Just bailing them out of just what could have been an awful situation.
You see how carefully he shot those last 2 bullets as well. Very high pressure situation, but he still has the experience and the patience to just take aim, shoot him in the face. Double scouts for FaZe. Let's see Zed's up close. There is danger lurking for NIP. There are those God-B-esque, well, those God-B Molotovs to clear that position up, but do they want to invest that much? Because with that much investment, you may feel compelled to put someone in there when you don't necessarily want to do that.
Ooh, this makes a bit of noise. Olafmeister knows that somebody's nearby. We don't really see 2 double scouts that often anymore, especially after the scout nerf, but we did see Cloud9 pull it out on Mirage 2 days ago. Stewie and Ska.
Cloud9 used to do that a lot as well.
Mm.
Yeah, it worked out for them.
More prevalent teams with that Stratego. 1 minute mark, NIP. What is your play? They've still got most of their grenades, or a lot of grenades. They've still got 3 Molotovs.
Yeah, it seems like this is going to be a very standard yard take. So smoke off the bomb train lanes and so on, and then use a Molotov to clear out short stop there, and potentially use a Molotov for the middle of the bomb train too. Now they only have 1 left. Karrigan getting backstabbed.
Wow. Uh-oh. Guardian.
Where are the smokes?
Yeah, I was going to say, smokes is definitely how you deal with this. But it's fine. They just walk into the site and it looks like they're catching FaZe without understanding where they should be looking. And one thing to point out is that NIP have won both pistols of this train. And of course that goes a long way in Counter-Strike. So it's not going to be an easy one for FaZe to get back into this. I like that. Just softens them up with the USP, finishing shot with a scout. Usually people do it the other way around, but Guardian, he can do whatever he wants.
If I remember correctly, Guardian's one of the AWPers who has a non-default zoom sensitivity ratio. I think his is above 1. Mine is 0.79. So I think his, I could be wrong, but I think his is like 1.1 something.
129.
I know a lot of players in the past used to have it way lower than obviously the default, like to the point where it's obviously quick scoping was a thing back then, so you didn't have to make that many adjustments. Clicks as the lemming train comes from
I think most people, I'd say 98% of people who are watching won't know what the zoom sensitivity ratio is. So for those of you who don't know what it is, it essentially changes your mouse sensitivity when you are scoped in with a weapon that is scoped, such as an AWP, an AUG, a scout, etc.
Yeah.
So you could, for example, make it the same sensitivity as when you're unscoped if you wanted to, or do whatever's comfortable for you. So,
but that's not, just so people know, putting your zoom sensitivity ratio to 1, it does not make it the equivalent of your actual sensitivity.
And it's actually impossible to make it equivalent.
No, it's there is a
you can't make
formula
it
for it.
Equivalent, I'm pretty sure.
You can make it pretty close.
Yeah, I think you can get close, but not.
I play with 1.3 sensitivity, 400 DPI, and mine is 0.74 or something, some sensitivity ratio, something to that effect. But then again, I can't op anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
damn, you basically have like almost half the sensitivity that I have. Damn.
And yours is half of mine, James.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think anyway.
It used to be exactly half of yours, but mine is was a work in progress for the longest time, but I think I've settled now.
Is it faster?
I actually gave myself RSI playing Overwatch when I had a super low sensitivity in Counter-Strike.
I'm actually surprised I haven't ran into any issues like that with how low sensitivity I play with, because I have to use my entire arm. Like it's a complete workout.
That's why it's.
Yeah, I'm a wrist
because
player.
you're less
wait, yeah,
wrist.
you're a wrist player with low sensitivity. That's just so.
Yeah.
The RSI is going to be more
sense.
prevalent with wrist.
Anyway, there's an execute into the A site from NIP, but 2 of the FaZe players are very close towards main, so that might be a problem. Karrigan only gets 1 kill, almost rare in these 2 matches for him. Done a lot better recently. Get right, delivers another one. The bomb is planted. Post-plant situation. How will NIP line up? Nico immediately takes down Forrest, who was looking for the flank.
That's a pretty good position to be FaZe, but Get Right, again, just so clinical at the moment. And that position by Green Train is so supremely strong. Just tapping the bomb, getting that pressure on there is Nico. Or rather, sorry, Olafmeister. Nico there for support by E-Box. And now it's just Draken. Wild spray there, not getting the frag onto Nico. He's down to 3 HP, going for the one defusing Olafmeister. Oh, if they just made that frag, it would have been the round. Oh, it might be anyway. It is so close. Oh, by the skin of their teeth, NIP win this round. And they've got a lot of money in the bank.
No defuse kit on FaZe, comes back to haunt them. I'm actually surprised that Nico was able to hold it off at all. Just extremely low HP for that entire time.
That's a big round for NIP, a big round. But they need to capitalize on their advantage. It's not enough just to have a good round. Need to exploit it. Olafmeister. Oh, so close to a 2k. Rez left with 6 HP. There are AKs to collect, or 1, maybe 2, if you consider Rez almost dead. Smart from Exist. They hadn't checked the high ground, so he'll be careful. They've got time with which to do that. 1 very long flank coming in. Rain jumping up into some bullets headed towards the connector area. And FaZe will rue the long range between themselves and these AKs. Can Rez stay alive? It's just Guardian now at the back with the Deagle. He can. 4 players survive for NIP. Looked hairy, could have been a lot worse for them had Olaf Meister got that second kill. But crisis averted.
This is really interesting, actually, because I felt like FaZe would get into a position where they would slowly but surely start to overtake NIP, but NIP have really done well into the resurgence. The double orbs coming out might make complications of it, though, as the AWP is on Draken as well. I'm not sure if they'll try to just play picks with him, but alley pressure is what they'll be looking for, and we'll get some alley pressure, but ooh, there we go.
Kerrigan actually gets that shot off as well, but Rez able to take out Rain and Pop Dog.
This round is savage. Look at the aggression all over the map. It's crazy. No one's waiting for anything. They just want to go for it. They just want to fight. Like that UFC quote, all I saw was swinging. 2 on 2. CTs at the back of A. I'm not sure if both have been identified, but it's a very fast rotation from Olaf Meister towards the connector position. Maybe considering going beyond it, but the bomb is down and he will focus on connector itself.
Important 1v1, and Olaf Meister will take it down. It's up to Draken now. Can't put a foot wrong. I think the previous time they were lucky to come away with the W. This time Draken can't make a mistake.
Still 2 smokes and a molly as well on the side of. They can.
Yes, they'll be good to go. Draken missing some shots there again in this 1v2 situation, and that could really come back to bite NIP in the backside. Even though they have a lot of money, you just don't want to let FaZe back in the game when you've got them on the ropes.
Missing the important shots.
Yeah, that would have really broken FaZe, and that would have put NIP in a position to be basically sort of very close to winning the game. This would be such a big map to take as well, because FaZe are probably the team with Astralis that are least likely to drop maps against people. So it would really go a long way if NIP could pick up the map here.
It definitely would. I'm actually surprised that we haven't seen more aggression on the CT side coming up from FaZe, honestly, with what we've seen from a lot of other top teams who play Train. But they've decided to play fairly default. I mean, outside of a little bit of aggression towards Pop Dog, which hasn't really panned out either. They're sticking by their guns and just playing this very cookie cutter. They actually committed early on with 2 players on the inside side as well, without any real information as to what's going on.
I wonder if they would have been more aggressive if they had started CT first.
Yeah, or obviously if they win the pistol. Gun tip.
Gun tip spotted. NiKo casually walking through the smoke, and there's no reaction from NIP just yet. They're still pretty static. It seems it will be an execute into the A site once again. Kerrigan is close to main, but he's got an AWP, so he may want to back off. NiKo is positioning himself around the A site, and the CTs are close to Pop Dog as well. Nothing but aggression from FaZe, but is it going to work out for them? That's a very nice fast shot from Kerrigan. Looking for a second one, not quite hitting the mark. 12 HP, can he escape? Being faced from main, but he will land another kill. Kerrigan getting lots of value from that position. And FaZe just held steadfast. And they are taking the money away from NIP and catching up to the score.
Yeah, big decision for NIP to make now, whether or not they want to buy up or not. They will. So first probably going to drop off an AK to Draken, and there we go. So kind of a last-ditch effort here from NIP to bring things back in their favor. Obviously looking at an eco if they lose this one, even with a bomb plant going down.
70 targets for Guardian. Very dangerous area, and AWP delivering all the kills. Cameo appearance from a Mag 7 in this round, and NIP are on the ropes. Rez alone versus 4. Maybe a question of damage. They seem to have an idea of where he was, or is.
Oh, for me, this really goes back to that 1v2 for Draken. I think that might have been the moment where NIP just lose the grip of the game, because FaZe, they are really looking good at the moment. NIP taking the timeout as well. Oh, this is a big problem. This is not this is not the match for Draken to not show up.
It's definitely not having a good time. A similar fashion to what Rain had on his first map.
Yeah.
Just, the one benefit that FaZe has that they can rely on is the fact that they have Guardian, Nico, Olofmeister, and even Kerrigan now to kind of pick up the slack if somebody falls off.
Well, Draken is usually one of the most consistent fraggers for the team as well. So it's quite... Yeah, it's just not a good timing for this. Oh man, he's definitely not going to feel good if NIP can't close this game. FaZe looking so dominant with those double AWPs of theirs. It's quite scary that like 4 players of FaZe can actually AWP at a very high level. There you go. That's a good start from Draken.
Who needs an AWP? Well, finally a man advantage for NIP at least to work off of. Don't really have the, don't really have the utility. They have a smoke to really set things up for themselves. So they're gonna have to rely on more crazy 1Ds here to make this happen. Olofmeister taking a very passive position on the inner bomb side, literally just letting NIP take the bomb site if they want to, and then relying on the retake. They do have a lot of nades to do so with, so I think this is the right decision from him.
Lots of repositioning for us as it gets some sound cues. Dead now, of course, and it's go time for NIP. Smoke's coming down, the bomb's being lost. 2-man spray down, a lot of fires making down the third. With the range of the CTs, you would have thought a bomb plant was all but guaranteed for NIP, but they don't get anywhere close.
Yeah, I didn't see quite where that one smoke exist had landed, but obviously it didn't block off Olofmeister's position. Might have gone for a long smoke towards connector instead of the short one right down lower. But money's in the bank for FaZe right now, so even if they lose this one, we'll have the chance to retaliate and potentially reset NIP. And NIP on their end have gone full in on the investment. Got an op in the hands of Draken. And finally we see some aggression coming out from FaZe. It works out swimmingly. Immediate 2-man advantage for them. Great shots by Nico there. Solid spray transfer. And Olaf? No, just decides to casually walk out of that situation. He's going to be rewarded with a kill as well.
And he might get more here indeed. Another headshot to follow and another kill in the bag. FaZe just smashing on through NIP at the moment. NIP, what are they going to be able to do against this scary situation? I mean, it's difficult, for example, to get the set pieces going if, let's say, like you want to play it a little bit slowly at the start of the round because FaZe might be active and you don't want to get caught as you're sort of setting up something, let's say, a set piece onto A. But I feel like that's probably one of the better ways to go, just because they are able to get some space and Guardian's not going to be a problem immediately. Yeah,
I think the issue NIP ran into there is the fact that FaZe haven't really been aggressive for the better part of their CT half, so they might have gone into the wayside really when they start to set up for their defaults and whatnot, or their potential fakes.
Wall of smokes once again for the Ninjas. They really need to get the bomb down this time. Kevlar has been invested in. Pistols are out. Bomb should be getting planted now. It's like old times, or maybe not. Nico could be on the train, and Olofmeister's flank will make it even harder for that bomb to go down if he gets down the ladder in time. Attempt number 2 has failed. There are no more smokes here for the T side, and they will be completely denied.
FaZe just pick up their kills so quickly as well. Like it's like,
it's a domino effect.
Yeah, because when you're playing some teams, obviously not everyone's just going to hit all of their shots. So you get these spots where the kills are sort of staggered, then someone misses a shot, then that player is able to dodge and then get into a better position. That slows it down. But against FaZe, it's like if they get a shot, someone dies.
Yeah,
someone's going to die. So it's just very interesting, that dynamic.
It's a pretty terrifying notion.
Exist has been jettisoned from the server again.
Mm-hmm.
He's gone to listen to some DMX.
Maybe he's been pressing F10.
Press F10 for hats. XYZ has left the game. God, man, I love the internet. I love the
Do you think anyone would still fall for that in chat? Like,
Of course.
press Alt F4 to get special emotes.
Alt F4 maybe would be a more difficult sell.
Yeah.
But the good old F10 was outstanding stuff. It really was. The good old F10. That was beast. Well, hopefully he's back soon. Despite not planting the bomb, NIP they have full buy money, mostly. I reckon if he goes AWP, he may not have all the armor he wants, but beyond that, they're pretty much good in the hood.
Rain's still having a terrible day.
Yeah.
Rest can drop the AWP actually for Draken. Yeah, Rain is under the weather, you might say.
But he is the weather, James.
He is the weather.
Okay, so
Maybe there's two sets of weather. There's double weather, just like there's double rainbows.
Well, I guess it doesn't matter if you got Guardian, Nico, and Olafmeister and Karrigan just killing everyone, then it doesn't matter, I guess.
Yeah. Must be nice.
Must be nice. It would be really interesting to see like how far FaZe could get if you remove like, let's say, you know, if you didn't have Rain on the team, but you had like a
Bardolph.
got like a
Yeah, if you have
gold,
Bardolph on the
a
team.
gold never 3 player or something, you know.
Bardolph.
That would be interesting to see how far they could get, because they'd probably,
get pretty far.
They probably still like go deep into the playoffs of majors and stuff, you know.
Bardolph
At this point.
delivers.
Like, if nothing else, you can use the gold number 3 player to just be a meat shield, right?
Yeah, meat shield for an 8, human shield.
Rain wants to get in on the action as well. Makes it to double figures.
Well then, NIP, they've lost a play rally. They've lost real estate. They've lost a pair of eyes.
Might lose a couple more here. Aggressive stance from Rain. I'm assuming Nico's going to be a bit of a bait for him.
Forrest, he ran down the stairs, so they know. Well, that was interesting. Get right, didn't want the flashbang.
Right.
And I mean, FaZe knew people were coming to check this area, and they will enjoy the spoils.
Yeah, I don't understand like not waiting for the flash. Again, is that like a communication thing?
That has to be a communication thing.
But
more than
yeah,
anything else.
and that's going to be frustrating. Very frustrating, because the flashbang obviously.
Who do you think it's more frustrating for, though?
Forrest, I think.
Yeah.
Threat.
Probably, yeah, actually, that's true. Oh. In any case, Resin exists left with a pretty big task on their hands. Both go down lower, spotted out by Olafmeister. Nice grenade. Getting some chip damage, and, well, AK headshots do the work as well.
That's definitely a death by paper cuts round for NIP after losing their first player.
So Olafmeister started off this game pretty slowly, but on the CT side, like once FaZe started turning things around, really got into his groove.
Yeah,
Especially with this his aggressive motion trading or movements towards the inner bomb side up into dark walls. Really paying off in a big way. Exists moving out into Olaf immediately.
Into the grenades. NIP backs to the wall. They've got one flashbang, one smoke grenade, and that's it. Does this mean they have to go to the B bomb site? Exists trying to make space towards. They doesn't work out. Running through the smoke one by one into the meat grinder. They will be hung on the meat hooks and turned into saucisson. 16-12 in favor of FaZe. NIP definitely running out of steam towards the end there.
Yeah.